Hello, everyone, and welcome back once more. Well, really, this one is following on somewhat from the previous one about the New Age, and I, we're not going to spend too long on this, but I really did just want to talk a little bit about something called the Galactic Federation of Light, and also Ashtar Command and the Great White Brotherhood, which a lot of people out there, I mean, there's a lot of stuff on YouTube purporting to come from them and things like that. So I do think we just need to give a little bit of a heads up on that as well.
Fascinating. I must admit, galactic stuff is not something that at the moment I have a massive amount of understanding of. I've noticed a lot of people speaking light language. I've noticed a lot of people talking about, how they're in contact with certain, galactic beings or command ships, or, like, and I do find it. So my human design is an ultimately open mind. That is my thing. So my ears prick up. I'm always interested. But when you talked about, well, we just have to be a little bit careful. We need to understand what we're tapping into. I was like, great, tell me more.
Yeah. Well, the Galactic Federation of Light, Ashtar Command, the Great White Brotherhood, all of these kind of groups, and the Galactic Federation of Light in particular, it talks about it's a grouping of many thousands, if not millions, of star nations that have all come together for the betterment of mankind, for peace in the galaxy, for this, for that, the other. And they've got all of their starships and his military commanders and big flag military commanders and all of this. And there are hierarchies, and they're all up there in the invisible planes above the planet, channeling, contacting people down below and channeling information to them and things like this. It's kind of like, yeah, just be careful. Because are these real things? Yes, they are. But the Galactic Federation of Light is mainly Anunnaki controlled.
Okay, so
Star Command is mainly Anunnaki controlled.
so let's go back. What is an Anunnaki control? Let's just remind people.
Anunnaki, the Anunnaki are one of the fallen races. They're one of the fallen consciousness races. In fact, they were created as fallen consciousness. This goes back into galactic history, but the Anunnaki were a created race a very long time ago, when an angelic race called the Orifim, who are the progenitors of mankind, or of humankind, when the Orifim were created for a specific purpose, in order to counter that, the Anunnaki were created by a race called the Anu, or the Anu Elohim, they called themselves, who were a fallen race, in order to counter what the Orifim were there for, and every Christos race to counter the Christos beings, those who were wanting to raise consciousness and stand against what those of fallen consciousness were trying to do. And there are quite a lot of Anunnaki groups, and a lot of people will be aware of them because they have a history on this earth. And it comes in, we have mythologies about them on this earth that come in through ancient Mesopotamia, or ancient Sumeria. They were the gods, small g, of ancient Sumeria. And people will know the names Enki and Enlil and the like, and they then morphed into Egyptian entities like Thoth and Ra and so on and so forth. They've had a very, very long history on this earth, and it is mainly Anunnaki groups. There are draconian groups as well, which is another galactic race of fallen consciousness. But it was the Anunnaki groups that are really behind so much of the New Age deception. They're behind the big invasion of this planet that really happened about 26,000 plus years ago, that sees us in the position we're now. There have been certain stages that we've gone through.
Okay.
I will tell this story at some point in a book on Earth history. But they're one of the major controlling groups. But within the Anunnaki themselves, there are factions. Fallen consciousness doesn't necessarily get on with itself very well.
Right.
They're always, you know, sort of
Backbiting and infighting.
absolutely, yeah, no honor amongst thieves and all of that. But yeah, I mean, one of their constructs for the new age is really is to bring these groupings that they have, like the Galactic Federation of Light, where it's effectively a kind of like a military command, an Ashtar Command, who is supposedly run by something, well, it depends upon which story you hear. And this is another clue, actually, as things are not quite what they seem, is there are so many muddled versions of the story. Ashtar Command is commanded by somebody called Ashtar, is it Shantan or Sharan or something like that, in one story, but in another, actually, Ashtar is a title, and in another, it's about a group, and you know, so on and so forth. But these are, you know, they contact human beings and say, you know, I'm Commander so and so from the Galactic Federation, and we're here to help you, and you know, you've been chosen to be an ambassador on the Earth, and you know, and little us goes, oh wow, oh,
Okay,
you know, highly advanced beings that on their spaceship, they know things I don't know, you know, they must be better than me, I need to listen to them.
okay, that makes so much sense. So, Sarah, so this is the obvious question to ask you. The Galactic Federation of Light, the Ashtar Command, the you know, the Great White Brotherhood, and these things that you're talking about, and you've told us where they've come from, and you know how they do it and why. And you talked about this Orifim, this kind of, you know, progenitors of humankind. Is there a Galactic Federation of Light equivalent that is good, a force for the good, that, you know, that we should be saying, oh my God, I've been contacted by them now, that really is a privilege?
Yeah, but that's not the way they work. They don't, you know, there are councils and confederations and things like this where Christos beings, those who are connected to source, races, all these different galactic races, sort of come together, but then
They
they're
contact humans.
you know, as star seeds, you know, the call went out across the galaxy, you know, Earth is in need, it needs star seeds to go in a whole frequency, to go and help humanity get out of the fly paper it's got itself, you know, it's deliberately had wrapped around it by the fallen, those of fallen consciousness. This is a war on consciousness that's going on, and we need to help raise the frequencies on planet Earth.
Okay, so here's my question.
Volunteers step forwards, and the call goes out, and here we are.
So we're
the living embodiment of.
Are the Anunnaki races in these galactic federations of light, etc., are they clever enough to contact star seeds?
Oh yeah, I mean, this is part of what the New Age deception is all about. It's knocking star seeds off course.
Wow, this is huge, Sarah. This is absolutely massive. So I hear this loud and clear, that the star seeds are the people who have been placed here by the good forces, if you like. There's no more to be done other than to stay with your truth, stay with, you know, to continue your human evolution, and not be dragged off course by a direct connection with a galactic collective, if you like.
This is why you know, we come in through their frequency nets, which basically blank slate us. They mind wipe us, so we don't come in knowing who we are. And those few who do make it through those nets, there are some young children who do retain an awareness. Oh, mummy, you know, I'm this, I'm that. Oh, don't be so silly, dear, you know, sort of thing. Those few who do retain it, by the time they've been through the vaccinations and the school program and the social program and the frequency fields that we sit within, and phones and tablets and computers and televisions and things like this, gone.
There's not left.
Yeah.
Okay,
So you know, we're mind wiped. and then we have to, and the star seed is here to hold the frequencies and to wake back up from that mind wiping, come back to an understanding of who they are and what they're here for, and act as the role models for humanity. So we're the way showers for humanity to help them come forwards from that. And the Galactic Federations, the Ashtar Commands, the Channel Descended Masters, the fake healing modalities, the this, the that, the other, are all there to knock you away.
Wow. So what I have is some beautiful souls, some really gorgeous star seeds who have been contacted and in all good faith are channeling these things, but that the channeling that's coming through them may well be designed to take people off track, even though it might appear to sound lovely.
Yeah. And you see, yeah, absolutely. And doesn't it sound wonderful? You know, I'm Commander so-and-so from the Galactic Federation of Light, and you've been chosen to be an ambassador for the galactic races to Earth, and blah, 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 blah. And they're always so handsome, so beautiful.
Right. Okay.
And there is an Anunnaki race that they're called the Nordics. You know, our version for them down here is called the Nordics, but they're the Samyazi Anunnaki, who are a Palladian. They're a Palladian Anunnaki race. You know, and they live in the Pleiades, which again, so many people, I'm channeling Palladian beings. Are they fallen beings, or you know? But they stole they stole genetics from a very beautiful, fair, blue-eyed race, and they inhabit effectively, and they present themselves, and because they're so beautiful and lovely and you know, just perfect human beings, they're often put forward as being the contact points between humanity and fallen races, because they look so beautiful.
Okay.
You know, and so they can't be bad, can they?
So channeling
and they talk the right things. They talk all the spiritual language and all the we're here for peace and love, and you know.
So how about channeling of light language? I follow some exquisite people on Instagram who's, you know, they're very beautiful humans and they're channeling light language and they're sending these beautiful healing codes through. Tell me a little bit about those.
I'll be frank with you. Light language isn't something that I've dived down a deep hole on. My response to some of it is, oh wow, because I can feel it hits something beautifully resonant within me and unlocks something. And then others are, oh, you've got to be joking.
Yeah. Okay. So again, it sounds like you're saying use your discernment.
Use your discernment. I mean, there are a lot of people jumping on this particular bandwagon.
There is. I've noticed it. It's really now. Yeah.
You know, just about every mother and his dog is kind of like channeling light language of some sort, but that doesn't mean to say it's coming from the right planes of light.
So again, use your discernment, use your truth, run it through your own filter. Don't blindly believe it because somebody's channeling a light language. See how it makes your body feel, how your cells resonate, and that's probably the truth.
And, you know, and some people are using it. They use it for themselves because you know, when they make these sounds and these tones, it helps to unlock or straighten out something within themselves. It's not necessarily always for you. It can be just that person is trying to
literally
access higher, you know, a higher understanding, and a frequency comes through to clear through.
Oh, that makes sense. And in that sort of idea that we are our own first client, it could be them, like you say, it could even be about them unblocking their throat chakra, couldn't it?
I have a particular tone I can, you know, I can hit when I feel very fuzzy and things. I can make a particular tone that absolutely it just shakes through, you know, my whole being, and it kind of shakes loose the fogginess. But you know, that's for me. I I really don't know whether it would work on anybody else.
So maybe then it could be an invitation for us to begin to play with our voices.
Yeah.
To make different sounds, to see what resonates quite literally through the cells of our bodies, and to not necessarily find a need to call it anything like light language. I mean, just to call it perhaps a healing frequency, or, you know, resonance therapy or something. That's really amazing. Thank you for your honesty as well about not necessarily knowing yet what your full thoughts are on that, but that certainly has helped me to get some understanding of why there are certain people that I follow, because I just find their vibration, for whatever reason, a pleasing vibration.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Sarah. Fascinating.
Oh, yes. Well, thank you everyone for watching, and thank you, Wendy, once more. And yeah, again, it comes back to buyer beware. We need to exercise discernment. Yeah, trust yourself, trust your intuition, and you won't go far wrong. And thank you for watching, and see you all again. Bye.
Bye, everyone.